many dads do I have in the chat? Do I got anybody paying child support in the chat here? And specifically, anybody in the chat paying child support who has a new significant other as well. I'm sure if you're a man or a woman paying child support and you now have a new partner, especially if you're married and it's like our finances are shared kind of thing, I'm sure your partner feels some way about the child support situation. Positive, negative, neutral. These are things that you talk about, right? You know, I got with TJ knowing that he had child support obligations, and that's always just been a necessary finance that we work around. Now, how I also feel about it is I want to do everything for this child that I possibly can, and I don't even have any obligations. I could just nacho kid, nacho responsibility my way out of it if I wanted to. But at the end of the day, if there's something this kid needs and, you know, child support doesn't happen to cover it, or someone needs some extra help, then, like, I'm even going to put my own money into the pot. You know what I mean? But that's just me. I don't think that step-parents should necessarily be at all responsible for child support. And I don't necessarily think that if you are ordered child support, especially if it's a huge chunk of your money that's coming out, you know, I don't think that you have to provide extras, right? With that being said, I just want to show you a video of one woman who has a particularly angry reaction to the concept of her husband paying extras.
Shit I got to go through. It's like I got to choose between my child and my marriage. And the shit getting old. It's getting very old and frustrating.
Between your child and your marriage, what is you doing? I mean, like, what's going on?
I'm recording, man.
No, I ain't recording because you ain't dropping that shit. I don't give a damn about no Facebook, no YouTube.
I don't know why he's doing it online.
No. And I don't care nothing about that. Because my thing is saying, you pay
$500
you can drop it. I'm going to put business out here. You pay $500 fucking dollars a month in child support, and ain't nobody gonna do them no extra. No shoes, no clothes, no toys, no nothing. All that.
What you talking about, man? My son needs some shoes.
I don't give a damn. No, she can get the shoes out of child support money. She get the shoes out of child support money. That's what you pay child support for. The court ordered child support. You ain't got to do shit else. And she ain't gifting nothing else. She should have never took the child support out if she needed more money.
She said bare minimum only, baby.
I don't that child. You too. I don't give a damn about that.
Get divorced.
Well,
why are you with this man? You cannot have had such...
Dude, I didn't hear it all the way to the end at first. This was one of those videos that I knew I wanted to react to, but I didn't hear that child part. If you,
dude,
as a parent, I don't care if we're married or just dating. I don't care if we've been married for 20 years. You tell me that child, although if we've been together for 20 years, I don't think we have a child anymore, but still,
it's your child.
You tell me that child, you better get the out of the damn house, immediately. Just walk out. Because the next conversation that's about to happen.
So, Tuxedo Bob, what's your answer then? So he should just stay in the shitty situation with the woman who literally says "F your child." He should just stay with them because he might have to pay alimony. That seems like a bit of a...
Now, I will say, I'm usually not the first one to be like, divorce, break up.
Okay.
Obviously,
all right. Okay,
people have worked, through a lot worse than this. But let's, break this piece down one by one. So first of all, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but $500 a month is more than the average child support. I think average child support ordered across the whole nation is $330 a month.
Probably, yeah, $330 to $400.
But we don't know where they live. $500 a month in Michigan, holy crap, that's a lot.
It's pretty well above average.
Yeah, you can really provide a lot, I think, especially for where we live in Michigan for $500 a month. I don't think I spend $500 a month on exclusively the kids.
Well, here's the thing, and this is something that they don't tell you, is she's not getting all of that $500.
Yeah, that's true. But that's a conversation for another time.
But here's the thing: if he's paying $500 a month, she's probably seeing
But that's still out
closer
of his paycheck.
to
It's still a lot.
Yeah, it's probably seeing $375, $425 of it, and it's you could get your kids some shoes that are gonna fall apart. But there's an there's a quote that Terry Pratchett wrote in one of his fantasy books. But it's you're gonna have the poor man will always be poor, and the rich man will stay rich because the rich man can afford new shoes, nice shoes that will never wear out, but the poor man's going to have to buy a new pair of shoes every few months because his shitty shoes keep wearing out, so he's always spending his money getting new shoes. You're not going to spend $10 on shoes, so it's an investment, and that's the thing, is like,
here's what it comes down to me, is we can ask ourselves all day, why isn't mom using that $500 a month to buy the kids shoes? Why isn't the mom stepping up? We could ask that question all day long, but at the end of the day, if mom is not stepping up and this man's child is walking around with small shoes pressing on his feet all day long walking around school, the kid needs shoes. Okay, so at that point, it doesn't matter if mom is failing. He's not going to make his child suffer just because his mom is misusing the funds. And that's what I see in this man. And it's like, it would be one thing. It would be one thing, too, if the woman was having, like, a calm and rational discussion. And to be fair, I understand why she's mad, because he's, like, putting their business on the internet for some reason, which he's wrong for that.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's true. She didn't get involved. She didn't get involved in it until she knew that he was recording something.
So, in a way, if you're going to start recording your partner, like, yeah, they have every right to kind of, like, give you a hard time about it. But to get so aggressive, she didn't make him look stupid at all. She made herself look like a step monster.
Exactly. Like, it's one of those things where you go, well, he recorded, and you go, yeah, but what he recorded is pretty compelling for the situation that that gentleman is dealing with.
Of course, I'm reading the comments right now. So, of course, the women are the ones saying $500 a month ain't nothing.
But I agree with that.
I don't know if that's necessary.
What happened just doing things for your child? Like, that's the thing is.
But that's the point.
Regardless of, like, with Dylan, like, child support paid or not, it was always like, do you want that, buddy? All right, ask your mom to get it with the money that I gave her this month. It's like, that is not what a parent says to their child. It's like, hey, bud, would you like that back? It could be.
Sometimes.
I think, especially if, like, unless, again, for all we know, he could be being taken for $500 a month, and he only earns $600 a month.
This is one of those two things can be true at the same time situations.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you should just do things for your child, but at the same time, $500 is not nothing. Or I'm sure you're going to be feeling it if he stops paying that $500 a month.
I think they mean
I'm
in
sure
the
it won't
sense
be
of,
nothing
like,
then.
Yeah, but once she said, "F my child," it's a wrap. Yeah, it's like, cool. I'm like, I don't even care if he was wrong before that. You're the piece of shit.
Exactly. This is great advice, too. Don't marry someone who does not accept and support that you're going to be parenting, loving, and supporting your children.